Welcome, Mossaab, Rafih, to the Entrepreneurs Organization EO podcast. In this season, we speak with entrepreneurs from Morocco. And I'm excited to have you on the show, Mossaab.
Thank you, Simon. It's my pleasure to be with you here.
Thank you. So tell us about how you become an entrepreneur. I see you now are the owner of multiple businesses. The most prominent or biggest one is the Big M Solutions, but you have a lot of other businesses. So you are, what could say you're a serial entrepreneur. Tell us how you got to become an entrepreneur.
It was like motivation from my mother. She's the businesswoman of the family. She's the first one in my family, both sides, to be an entrepreneur. And that was basically because she needed to help my father provide a better life to the family. And I was motivated by her because I've had to help her. I'm the eldest son, so I had to help her at a young age, basically when I was 11, 12 years old. By that, I've started some side gigs. That was the age of DVDs here in Morocco, and VCDs before that. So I took kind of project to became like a reseller for DVDs and CDs.
That was like the typical thing you see on markets in Morocco, people selling DVDs on I don't know. I was in Morocco in like 2012 and 2011, and I think you have very active markets, and that is one of the things that people like to sell.
Yeah. Basically, by then was really too far away from that market. Because after that, I started when I was at high school by, I believe, 2009, something like that. I started working on other projects. So before that, on side projects, that at the beginning of online freelancing, 2008, I was just learning the basics of programming and pretending that I know more that I know, and learning on the way, getting a job and learning while doing that job. After that, started the dropshipping, was like the beginning of it, in 2009, 2010. So I was lucky because I was on the beginning of multiple businesses that just started booming while I'm joining them.
And in total, how many businesses have you started since then?
I can't remember exactly, to be honest, because multiple businesses that where I'm now is just basically just my failure or my lessons, as I like to call them. They're not failures because they're failures only if you learn nothing from them. I've tried basically almost anything you can think of. Everyone worked in interior design and selling furniture industries. I've been a business consultant while I was just in school. That was one of the weirdest jobs I've ever had. I've never been an employee because I've been exposed to the business market, as an entrepreneur when I was too young to know anything about being employed. I've tried to get a job but it didn't last over a week because I didn't like what they've been doing, and I saw some opportunities. Then I quit just in a week to start to be the supplier of that business that hired me for that week.
Isn't that the story of a lot of entrepreneurs, that they are unemployable and end up having to be entrepreneurs because there's no other place for them in the world than just to start their own companies and run their own businesses? I love it.
I tried to get in the job multiple times when just I stopped a business, something like that, but I never could. I get the job, but then I reject the offer just because I can't do that.
And to our listeners, we are aware of the hammering in the background, but I think we can live with that. We'd rather do the recording now instead of postponing that. So please bear with us, but it'll be over soon, hopefully. Cool. With that out of the way, take us fast forward to basically two companies. The one that I mentioned in the introduction, which is the Big M Solutions. And then let's also talk about your social enterprise, Copilot, I think, what you do there? Because I think you're doing amazing work here, and I'd really love our listeners to hear more about that. So let's start with Big M.
Okay, Big M Solutions is basically a tech company. It's a holding of multiple tech startups. We have some startups in US, Canada market now, and Morocco. We're working on other startups, or maybe just acquiring startups and helping them in the ideation phase. That's mainly the job of Big M Solutions. And we have digital marketing department there. We have big customers for digital marketing. But the new project that I'm excited about is Copilot. Is an as a software enterprise, and its main objective is to help you, young people in Africa. We started from Morocco because I'm based here in Morocco now, and it started as a need. We needed skilled people. We have people that are motivated, self-taught, but they don't know how to use their knowledge. So we checked it through a bootcamp of 2 to 6 months. The average is 3 months now, and you multiply there between 2 and 4 months. From that, we help them get their first job or their first internship.
So who are these people? So like what age? Like late teenagers or older?
By law, they must be older than over 18. And because we've been approached for this program initially by the government, and they have a program for 18 to 35. So we kept working even without the government because they're not backing us now. We're working from our pockets. And we still keep in that age group, working with that same age group, 18 to 35. Working with people that either have a degree or with no formal education. And we help them build skills to build careers and better life for them and their family.
And how do you choose them? Sort of, what do they have to bring to the table in order to be accepted by you?
Actually, we don't ask much. Just we put them through a pool just to select the ones that really are motivated. They're gonna stick with us to the end because that bootcamp is not easy. It's not easy to be like, yes, 2 months, but it's a hard 2 months. You're gonna work here, really to get there. Because when we work, we focus on work ethics and on how you get yourself out of any kind of trouble. Because you're a product that you're going to sell to enterprises to choose you, like it's preferred from an experienced person. Someone with no experience, with just a bootcamp of 2 to 6 months, going to be preferably hired after our program than experienced people. And we have companies that refused before that to hire people with no higher degree, like with no master's degree or engineering degree. But now they hire people from us.
So what you're teaching is more like, could you say, social skills? Like, as you said, work ethic and, I don't know,
no, that's not
communication or
maybe the core of what we're teaching. But we're teaching specific jobs. Like, for example, we're training someone to be exactly video editor. Not general like media guy, no, only video editor. Specific job.
Very specialized.
Yeah, for a community manager, for example. They're not the general marketer that we adapt him, like reduce a lot of things that he learned just to adapt it to a job of a community manager. No, we train him for, like for example, for community management, it's 2 months bootcamp. We train him to learn everything about community management. And after he gets hired, because we connect that person, we have just as a number, we have 70% female. Also, it's like a number that we're proud of. Beside the 86% employment rate after our program, which is like historical talking about Morocco.
That's amazing.
Yes. And we were not even prepared like when we started the program. It's just been called, you have a couple of days to prepare for the disco.
So if I understood you correctly in the preparation for this call, what you said is that you've been training employees in your companies before, and you've taken those skills and realized there's a gap in the market, or there's a need in Morocco, and you've taken these skills, training people for your own companies, and now you're making this accessible to basically outsiders that you then take back to the market for other employees. Is that correct?
Yes, in the beginning it was just as a need, as you said, just for our company. Then we figure out, okay, when we try to hire like 10 or 20 people, if we get just 20, we'll have dropouts. We've been obliged to get like at least 50% more. And after that, people started to like our training program and stick with us to the end. At least like we've had over 100% of what we need. Like at the beginning, I believe the first groups we had happened where this happened, it was like we needed 10 people, and we took 15 to train, and we ended up with 13 with us just to drop out. And we've met with other startups that said, okay, we are interested with this profile because we have a hard time finding them. And we basically need them to like quit your company or something like that to get them, or we're taking whatever. Some great startups, they don't even have the developers to create the solutions they're working on, or the marketing plan for their business. Because that's what we started with. It's the IT in marketing. Those are the sectors that we work in, and those are the trainings that we started with. After that, we've been it has been like a couple or multiple groups, I believe like 4 groups, where this happened. We've been taking like 100% over the number we need. Like let's say we need 20 people, we will get 40. We train 40. Okay, let's say the same cost for us. It doesn't cost us a cent more. Yes, it's a little bit annoying for like managing those groups, and like it's more resources like for lunch and stuff like that. But it's not much. And we started collaborating with other startups and convincing other startups that they want those people to get involved with us. And after much discussion, we ended up with we engineered the way that those students should learn. So we basically everything that's theoretical, it's online and self-paced learning. And when they come to us, it's just like for workshops and hands-on projects. So like the minimum for like 2 months bootcamp is 5 real projects, other than the virtual projects like just exercises and stuff like that. But when we talk 5 real projects minimum, is like we get companies to get involved with us, startups usually get involved with us and give those students their project to work on it.
So you give them a real hands-on experience, working with something that can really hone the skills. That's cool. Okay, so then before we open up the perspective from micro to macro, because then I want to talk about Morocco, what is the business model? You get paid for this, or how do you make money, or is it just a non-profit? How does it work?
Okay, we make some money sometimes, not always. At the beginning, it wasn't like about making money, but to sustain this project, we had to make money. So now we rely on international organizations or national organizations that support those students directly. Like they come to us, say, okay, we have a certain number, we have like 20 or 30 or maybe 100 students. For example, we're working on a project with an European foundation that want to help us get over almost 400 people to the job market like by 2024.
Let's change gears and talk a little about the future that you envision for Copilot. Now that you've explained sort of like the curriculum and the training opportunities that you provide, what do you want to take Copilot over the, let's say, next 5 years?
Okay, we're working now on scaling Copilot to acquire more people. We're building a relationship with the other agencies that work in the employment sector, other government and non-government agencies, also some non-profits that are eager to join us, and we have already signed some a couple of them. And also we're expanding, like we don't do the training ourselves now. You work with other professionals to expand Copilot. We've had to give up control on the micro stuff. We just do now the macro management, not the micromanagement. So we create the programs and we work with the other companies to improve the program. Like every time, like every new group, we have to restudy the program, know if we have to change anything there. And also, we don't have trainers like the casual trainers that we have in universities and stuff like that. No, we have professionals. We have like someone that, like yourself, you are a marketing professional, and for that you are a good fit to work with us on Copilot. Why? Because when we train you to be, we go through a small boot camp of 2 weeks to be a trainer, and we accompany you to, like, we help you through your career with us. It doesn't need to be your full-time job. It's just a part-time job. It should be your part-time job, not full-time. You work with us, and when you work with those young people, you will teach them what you just applied today or yesterday. Like, for example,
so it's a very, very practice-oriented, because you work with people who actually do the stuff themselves that they teach. So it's a very hands-on
it's like
teaching methodology. Yeah.
A typical teacher will just give you the theory of things, but you as a practitioner, you will show, okay, theoretically it should be done this way, but practically it's done this way, and this is how you should do it. So
Nice.
you know better than just someone that know the theory of things, because you
And
firsthand.
and what are the numbers? How many people do you want to reach, let's say, in 5 years? Have you set like a big, hairy, audacious goal in terms of the number of students that you want to train?
Yeah. Okay. The government recently, I'm talking about the government now more than before in my life, because they launched multiple programs, not just to help us, to help companies and attract foreign investment more. Besides all the advantages that Morocco gave the foreign investors to come to Morocco, like tax breaks and other stuff like that, even help you with the buildings if you need them, for industries, like tax-free years, connect you with the potential buyers and everything there. Also for employee side, now they will pay for the training. If you come to invest in Morocco, or even if you want, if you, like for example, we have that from with Europe now, and Canada, they take a lot of immigrants from Morocco. And the government said, okay, you want our people to work with you, we will pay for the training. Okay,
Nice.
you want to hire, like for example, computer engineers. Okay, how much does it cost to train them? Okay, we'll give you the money. You train them, or you train them here in Morocco, then we take them out, and we pay them for everything. And they pay more if you come to Morocco to invest, because Morocco is like really made since I believe 2014, starts attracting more and more outsourcing jobs. We have areas that's called nearshore and offshore, just for offshoring jobs and nearshore jobs.
Okay, Mossaab. So let's talk about what the future holds. We've spoken about what you are currently doing, and give our listeners an idea of where you want to take your business over the next 5 years, let's say.
I can say everyone should change their plans from 5 years to 7 years for Morocco. And if you're planning to invest in Africa, it's the right moment. The next 7 years will be like really exciting, especially with the football place. We have Africa's World Cup, Teams World Cup, and the FIFA World Cup also, like in 2030. And for everyone who's trying to invest in a country, that makes a huge difference. It's a great economic boost.
for tourism, for industries like the consumption power, people will consume more. And also, like for the last 5 years or so, Morocco been attracting huge investments from all over the world. Like we have billions of investments every year coming to Morocco. Why? Because we're from the geographical standpoint, we're the bridge between Europe and Africa. So if you are planted in Morocco, you can serve both Africa and Europe. And politically, we're good with everyone. We're easygoing, like from with most of Africa, if not all of it, with few minor problems like that every country had. And for Europe, we're like a good ally with uh, all the European Union.
Mm.
We're started exporting energy, like the first African country to export energy to the north, like to Europe. We're going to export energy to the UK. We're starting to replace France in the energy sector. Also with gas on the way, in the oil discoveries. Like it's really exciting years coming ahead from Morocco.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the sense that I got from the various conversations that I had with entrepreneurs in Morocco, is that it's a good place, and it's getting better over the coming years with a good economic climate, and with a good political framework. So we looked into like the macro climate for Morocco, but what does the microclimate hold for your company? I mean, you want to, I think, expand across Africa. Do you have like a strategy that you want to use specific countries, and if so, for what reasons? How do you make a decision on what countries to tackle first?
I will start like from the macro to the micro here. I'm from Casablanca, and in Casablanca we have a neighborhood called Casa Finance City. It's like a small city within in the border of Casablanca. All made, it's like tall skyscrapers and that. It's all made exclusively for companies that will work on other African countries. So to have an office there, you have to mention that 80% of your revenue from other African countries. So that's within the strategy of Morocco. And for my particular case, for Co-Pilots, one of my companies that work in the employment sector, we're starting pilot programs in Morocco, like different programs, but one of them will be supported by other foundations to create 1,500 jobs in the next 2 to 3 years.
And Morocco,
it's a big program. Yes, and especially with the success rate that we have with the small team for this program, it was like 86% employment rate after our trainings, after 2 to 6 months top training.
Yeah,
and the
so you want to
that we involved yes,
you want to scale
that
Morocco?
The scale in Morocco. Yeah, this all from Morocco. The Morocco, like we have now it's lower for the unemployment rate. We've had like 20% in like 5-6 years ago. Now it's like we're struggling finding the right employees. But we have unemployment rate, but they're not qualified to find jobs. So our program is to train them and make them employable. So we need the digital marketers. Okay, we get people that are excited about the digital world, and we train them to be digital marketers. We got people like that want to learn coding. We train them to code with games, with involvement with the real life project. The difference between us in universities and other schools that we don't use job exercises. No, we involve those people in real projects. We involve companies that are interested in recruiting them afterward. And in the process of their training, so they're trained based on, like for example, you have a project, you want to recruit people for that project, and you're interested to recruit people from this school, like within 2 to 3 months. Why wait until the end to tell them about your project? Would involve you from the beginning of the training. You will tell them about your project, and they will learn in practice on your project. And we will finance also, like if you need, for example, for the IT sector, we will finance the infrastructure. We will give you servers. We will give you access to tools you need, like for AI and stuff like that. We will do that for you. We'll give you that. It's just we want you to be involved with those young guys to learn and to make them excited about this new opportunity for them. And talking about Africa, we know that in Africa there's multiple regions. Africa is really big. It's not like on the map. It's bigger than Europe, bigger than the Americas. It's like the second largest continent after Asia. So we can't work on, we say theoretically work on all Africa. We will work on the West Africa. Why? Because there is cultural similarities, like countries like Senegal. We have like the same culture. Yes, people like at us. Apparently, we're two different people, but on the cultural side, politically, religiously, every time we're the same. If you talk with an with a Senegal, someone from Senegal, someone from Morocco, we're two diverse countries. We have like diversity. Culturally, we have multiple tribes in the same country, multiple languages. So that's what's beautiful about Africa. Most of countries have this diversity, and especially like if we will talk about West Africa and Morocco, we have been a good influence for the last 2 decades, with huge investments coming from Morocco to the West African countries. Like we can talk for all the West Africa, including Ivory Coast and all of these countries. The largest bank there and largest infrastructure companies are Moroccan. That's been the investment of Morocco there for the last 2 decades, and that's give us also an advantage there to invest in those countries.
Because you only have an economic connection.
Yeah.
So Senegal first. What other? And I hear you say that it's about cultural proximity or cultural similarity. After Senegal, is it sort of like West Africa, French-speaking Francophone Africa, and after that, probably further afield, English-speaking in other African countries? Is that sort of like the rough roadmap, or are there other criteria that you look into when considering what countries to expand to?
Actually, we're just working to collaborate with everyone, because our model is not based that we control everything. We will it's like franchising. We will train you to do something and let you do it. Let you have your there's profit, because this is a social enterprise, but it's an enterprise. So the profit side, we will teach you how to profit from it, everything, and the outcome will be helping your country or helping your city. Like for example, we worked with people that have been unemployed for the last 2 or 3 years and didn't have an opportunity. After 1 or 2 months training, they already landed a job, a decent job with a decent pay, not just any job. Like for example, we will do these interviews mid the training. We'll ask them what's the wages that they're looking for. They say, okay, we're looking for this. No, that's too low. We don't want to work with you to get that wage. We're working with you to get this wage. So that's the impact of Copilot.
Exciting. Great. It's always exciting to see projects, companies that combine business with a social impact. And fascinating to see that you're doing this from Morocco, facing the rest of Africa. Who are you interested in speaking with? So if somebody is listening to you and is thinking about reaching out to you, who are you particularly interested in connecting with?
Everyone that's working on the training sector or the employment sector. helping youths landing better opportunity. We have people that been like struggling, and now they are the main provider for this for their families. That's the kind of impacts we want, and we can help you do that. We are open to share our model with you, business model with you, and work together on having a huge impact on Africa. It's the time now to do that. We just get rid from vampire that's been fucking African blood for ages now, and Africa is on the rise. If you see, like we've been talking about Senegal, if you see Senegal like 2 decades ago and now, it's a big difference. Morocco, if you've been to Morocco like 10 years now, and you came like in 2030, 2023, it's a different country. It's not the same. It's not just Morocco and Senegal, many countries. If we talk about Nigeria, for example, like Nigeria is like a big example. Also Kenya, from the technological standpoint, like many tech startups, fintech startups coming from Nigeria and Kenya. Kenya is, I mean, just like I believe, like for us two Africans, we still see Kenya as that poor country, like extremely poor country. It's not anymore. It's on like really growing rapidly. Rwanda, it's the model that we all, the fantasy model for all African countries
that we are inspired to.
So this is Africa now. Africa is not that poor country that need just to give us give us a hand, like give us food. No, we don't want that anymore.
Well, that is one of the perceptions that we're going to change with this podcast by showing entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship across different African countries. Talking with entrepreneurs from Morocco. So, Mossaab, listeners who want to reach out to you, how can they best get hold of you? What is the best channel to get in contact with you?
I'm always on LinkedIn. I reply to every message I get, and I get a lot of messages, especially from all like with Africans, because I'm a mentor also, and I work with startups in early stages in tech sector. And my LinkedIn is I don't know if we're going to display the name. It's Mossaab Rafih. It's MOSSAAB Rafih, RAFIH.
From Casablanca, so I guess there's only one, and
I believe I'm the only one.
And the website.
First, my name.
And please share your website so people can look at that.
Yes, my company website is Big M Solutions. It's Big M only Solutions.net.
BigMSolutions.net. Fantastic. So
yes.
Thank you very much for your time, and I feel inspired having listened to the impact that you're having in Morocco and the vision and aspiration that you have to go beyond just Morocco and spread the impact that you have across Africa to more countries. So thank you very much for being on the podcast, and hope to meet you in person one day.
Yes, sure, Simon, and thank you for this initiative from your side. It's been a great pleasure to talk to you. We're talking before this, before we start recording, and I believe like we share similar views on how Africa should be, and it's now.
We do.